Yo, what's up? So today I'm going to be talking about the recent nerfs inside of prospecting because yeah, if you didn't know, the game has had some pretty big nerfs recently, mainly towards the museum because let's be honest, the museum was really OP. So this kind of needed to happen eventually. Also, there's kind of a way that you can actually reverse the nerfs, and I'll get more into like detail about that later on. Make sure you leave a like, you subscribe. Sometimes I give out a game pass, so definitely subscribe for that. Now, first of all, I want to quickly show you this. So a few days ago, Hi, the owner of the game, he actually kind of warned us. He said the museum stats are subject to change, will likely be nerfed in the future. So he did actually give us a heads up on the 30th of August. So let's just quickly go down the list of nerfs that have happened just in case you are not aware of them. So small patch in new servers. Now he's listed this. So slightly reduced size boost from museum ores. Changed stats for some museum ores. Which, by the way, I do have screenshots of some of these just to show you. Museum now preserves locked status, which is actually pretty sick. Museum displays weight on ore, which is quite a nice feature actually. And fixed void torn not being given by galactic pan / shovel. And then they also say other small fixes. So let's just head over to the museum real quick. Because obviously majority of the patch is basically in here. Now, one thing you'll notice in new servers, there is a kg counter now. It does specifically say in this. So yeah, I think it's the fourth one down. Museum displays weight on ore. So that's pretty cool. So as you can see, look, I've got a 35 kg jade, which by the way, this loadout I've got right now in my museum. I'm just testing out a weight or, well, a size boost like a loadout right now. I've been changing my museum a ton recently, I can't lie. Just constantly testing stuff. Also, with the feature that says, which one is it? I can't remember. Oh, the third one down. It says museum now preserves locked status. So I'm pretty sure before, basically, I think what that means is when you click E on an item, if it's already favorited, you don't need to re-favorite it. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Because before, if you had a favorited item, you put it in the case, and then you took it out of the case, it wouldn't it would be no longer favorited. But I think that's what that means by that. So that's a pretty cool little change there. Now, the top one, I think most people are probably annoyed about this one because a lot of people go for size boost in their museums, and it says slightly reduced size boost from museum ores. So yeah, I have noticed this one actually. So if we head over to this ore right here in particular, I mean, it actually says that it slightly reduced the size boost, but for this one, well, actually, to be fair, the second one does also say change stats for some museum ores. So I guess the first two are kind of in the same boat, but this one here, I've noticed, as you can see, there's actually no size boost on this anymore. This was actually used for a lot of people's like size boost loadouts. But unfortunately, if I show you a before image that I actually have, so before you got a 0.12 size boost on this ore, and now it's actually a modifier boost. So yeah, pretty strange. They've replaced the modifier, or well, no, sorry, they replaced the size boost with a modifier boost. And by the way, this is just one example, and this is just one that I noticed. So obviously that is a massive nerf because, I mean, who really cares about modifier boost? I mean, I don't really, to be honest. I mean, there might be someone out there, but size boost is obviously a way better option. But yeah, it just goes to show that check all your ores in your museum, especially if you've got certain loadouts, because stuff could have like possibly change. So obviously, you know, if you've got a size boost loadout, you don't really want that ore anymore that I just shown you because yeah, it's now been changed to a modifier boost, which obviously is not that good. But yeah, there's also been some pretty big like stat changes as well. There's one that I've noticed, and that's actually with the flare bloom. So let's bring this one out real quick. So as you can see, I mean, the look on the flare bloom, it actually says 0.5 right here. But if I have a look at an old screenshot that I've actually got of it, it used to be 0.66. So as you can see, I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that's changed. Yeah. So that is actually a 0.16 look difference, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, that just goes to show there definitely has been some pretty heavy nerfs for sure. And keep in mind, I mean, these are just two scenarios that I'm showing you now that I've like actually personally noticed. So definitely make sure you check up on everything and see if anything needs to be changed in your like museum loadouts, because you know there's a high chance that you probably do need to switch some things around after this nerf. And if you've noticed any other crazy nerfs, do let me know. Like, what is the biggest nerf you've seen? Because I feel like that flare bloom one, that's pretty crazy. The look difference is pretty mad there. So yeah, now I did kind of mention in the intro, and it might even be the title of this video. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to title this as of recording, but basically there is actually a way to reverse the nerf, technically. I mean, reverse is kind of a, you know, technically it's not actually reversing it, but I mean, technically it is though at the same time. I don't know. But basically, my point is obviously, I mean, he even says it in this screenshot, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he says at the top there, small patch in new servers. That kind of gives it away. Basically, what the devs have done is they added the patch, which is the nerf, to brand new servers. So that means all old servers haven't actually been updated. Now, I believe the reason for this is the devs didn't want to restart all the servers, because usually when games do that on Roblox, their play count actually takes a hit. Because obviously it closes every server down. That means it kicks out all the players. So I'm assuming the prospecting devs didn't want to risk, you know, closing all the servers down and obviously kicking out all their player base. Although, I mean, a lot of people would just reconnect, but some people may switch to a different game, you know what I mean? So they probably didn't want to risk it. But basically, because they didn't restart all the servers, that means there's like kind of like a 50-50 right now. Like half the servers are like new servers with the big nerf, and the other half is basically with like no nerf. So 50 of them, big nerf, 50 of them, no nerf. And keep in mind, as time goes on, by the way, this will get less and less, because obviously, I mean, the only way for a server to be like a new server technically is if everybody leaves an old server. So if everybody leaves an old server, it will just basically automatically update to a brand new one. So as time goes on, the old servers will just keep lowering in numbers, because obviously they're all updating to the newer ones, which I'm going to try and join one right now, actually. So as of recording, the patch is probably less than like 6 hours or something, I think. I don't even know. It's something around there. It's 100% been less than like 12. So old servers are not too tricky to join at the minute. Now, one way you can tell if you're in an old server is you can actually head to the museum, because obviously in one of the new patches, you can see that it, in the new patch, it has that like ore counter with the kg. So if it doesn't have that, that means you're in an old server. So, okay, here we go. Yeah, so I'm in an old server. And look, the Onyx or the Onyx, how do I say these ores? Bro, I swear that I've got to go back to school or something, dude. Me pronouncing these words, it just never works. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, I'm now in an old server, so I've actually got the size boost back on this ore. Because if you remember, in the new server I just shown you before, in my VIP actually, basically it had the modifier. So that's how you kind of know if you're like using this specific ore. But mainly it's because it doesn't have that kg. Because in the other server, if you remember, the Jade actually had a 35 kg like thing right here where my mouse is. But yeah, you can see that none of them have that new like weight counter. So that's how you can know very fast if you're in an old one. But like I said, as time goes on, the servers will slowly be, you know, shifting over to newer servers, because people are going to be leaving the old ones, and yeah, they'll basically just be automatically updating to the new ones. I mean, what you can do is you can try and like preserve an old server by like never leaving it, I guess. Probably be the safest way, or have a friend that just like AFKs in one or something. Because even my VIP server, like, you know, I never restarted it, but because there was 0 people in the server, it just automatically updates, even though I never even closed it down. So yeah, I mean, I guess take full advantage of this while you still can. I mean, by the way, there is a chance that the devs could restart all the servers in one go, although I feel like that's unlikely at this point. I feel like if they would have done it, they would have done it when they actually added the patch, you know what I mean? But you never know. I think one thing's for sure is obviously when the new update comes out, which will be Saturday, so that's quite far away, because it's actually Tuesday today, so we've still got ages left until the update on Saturday, because obviously when Saturday's update comes out, all the servers will be restarted for that. So, but yeah, for now, take full advantage of this, because yeah, you might as well, right? Oh yeah, I didn't even show this, but look, the flare bloom, look, it's back up to 0.66. Obviously in that new server it was actually 0.5, which I tell you what, the only thing about the flare bloom that actually bothers me is it's so good, but it's this negative size boost. Like, bro, please, devs, if you're watching this, remove this. To be fair, I mean, it is really, really OP though. Obviously the 0.66 is pretty mad, but like, dude, the negative side boost, I always hate the negatives so much. Even with some of the items you can have in like your equipment, you know, like I mean, I've shown this before, like the Frostthorn Pendant, like that gives you a negative 30 speed. This Cryogenic Preserver gives you a minus 18%. But yeah, I feel like the devs kind of need to do it to balance the game, I guess. But still, it's still so annoying. Oh, I've just realized I can actually jump back here as well. Interesting. I've never actually been back here. I don't know why. I always thought there was a glass panel here, but nope. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to end this video off now. I don't think there's anything else is there anything I've missed? I don't think so. Showing all these screenshots I've just got stacked up here. But yeah, to be honest, originally I was going to make this video just talking about the nerfs, but then I realized, like, as I was like joining public servers and stuff, that like my stats and stuff was changing drastically. Then it kind of clicked in my brain that obviously, yeah, they never actually, you know, kind of factory reset all the servers, if you get what I mean. So yeah, the old servers are just like super OP still. That's why I've kind of basically just put like kind of 2 vids in once, like how to reverse the nerfs, but also, you know, discussing the nerfs. But yeah, do let me know your opinions on all the nerfs that have happened. Do you think it was needed? Do you think it wasn't needed? Because I mean, I feel like we can all agree the museum was pretty OP. I definitely feel like it needed something going on there. But it seems like they mainly focused the size boost, so that's interesting. I don't think they really touched like the look too much. Well, I say that, but obviously the flare bloom went from 0.66 to 0.5. I think everything else, there wasn't too much of a difference with the look, I don't think. Well, not from what I've seen anyway. It's mainly the size boost that they tackled, so yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every comment, and yeah, bye-bye.